Hello YouTube, this is Shay from ParentsGuideToTheWorld.com. We took a trip out to the ice castles in North Woodstock, New Hampshire, and wanted to tell you why your family should as well. Now the great thing is there's 4 different locations for these ice castles. The one we went to in New Hampshire, as well as one in Colorado, one in surprisingly Utah, and one in Wisconsin. They started these ice castles in 2011, and it's definitely a fun family trip. It's not an entire day trip unless you have to drive quite a ways, but it is definitely the kind of trip that you'll be able to enjoy with your family, and you'll have time to do things elsewhere after. One piece of advice, the tickets do sell out fast, so if you do see an availability, you want to grab it. And even though we went during the day, we highly recommend going at night. The lights in the different ice castles are just so much prettier during the night than they are during the day. Pricing at the ice castles is $19.99 on weekdays and $24.99 on weekends. Also available are sleigh rides at an additional cost, as well as any concessions like hot chocolate that you might be looking for. One thing that is free, along with the ice castles themselves, the sledding on both the ice castles as well as the tubing is free. So that's definitely a nice bonus that once you pay, the only thing extra you'd have to pay for would be the sleigh rides, really, and the food. Now, each of these castles that you see, the big ones, is over 20 million pounds of ice. So it's quite an immense amount of ice that they take to build these. And as you see how they all have kind of spikies at the top, what they do is they actually have essentially like a little hose dripping water out through these big long spikes that essentially slowly form ice, and they grow the ice crystals overnight, and then they start to shape them. They are growing as many as 12,000 icicles every single day, and so they have to constantly keep producing more to build this up, as well as replenish the ones that start to fade and continue building on the large ones, such as this structure here. You can actually see where some of those pipes are coming down and that water starts to drip down there, and they make bigger and bigger ones. Now, not always does this go the way they plan. There are some of these that will end up failing, and they'll have to rebuild them from scratch. There's times where they'll be setting it up and they'll be carving a section out or building up a section like that archway there, and they've had to redo that entire thing. It's definitely not the easiest thing for them to build, and this winter got a late start to being cold, so it was actually, they weren't sure if they were going to open this year, but they did end up getting opened. They had some COVID restrictions in place, but it ended up being a great time for everyone. Make sure you're nice and dressed up warm. You can take some pictures out there if you'd like, but there is some crowds there, even with the limited COVID space. And definitely go walk this trail. It's a fun trail, but this is one of the things I would have liked to do at night. There's lots of lights all over the ground, up in the sky, hanging from the trees, and even though it was a fun walk during the day, it would have been amazing at night. There's not a lot of places to keep warm, but there are a few of those little fire pits here and there. Nice place to warm up your hands, kind of hang out for a minute, but you're not going to be staying, warm. This is winter weather. The view up to the drive to the New Hampshire ice castles was also amazing. Driving up through the White Mountains was really cool. I'm not sure about the other states. This one was definitely a really scenic drive. I would definitely recommend giving yourself a little bit of time to stop at some of the spots and take pictures and just enjoy the scenery. Spectacular overlooks. And there's an example of one of the lights. Like I said, you don't get much of it during the day, but you at least kind of get to get an idea as to how all the castles get lit up different ways like that. They've got different Christmas lights around and so many hanging lights. I think next year we're going to go back and definitely see it at nighttime. I think the key to the ice castles is to enjoy your inner child, channel them, and watch your children start to play like it's winter. Do the sleds, do the tubes, do the sliding, and of course enjoy the art of the crystals. It's definitely a really fun family experience, and it's unique. You're not going to get to see this every time. Every year is going to be different, It's not going to be something that they run during the warm seasons, so you're only going to be able to visit in the winter. And if it's a mild winter, you might not even get a chance to go at all. We almost didn't this year. So definitely take a chance when you can, and we recommend this highly. I would say 9 out of 10 stars. YouTube, we really love making these videos for you. This is something that we're getting new to. We're getting used to editing. We're trying to up our production quality, and these are some of the trips we've taken previously. We're going to work on continuing to make great videos for you. We would really appreciate it if you do comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell for more, and we're going to keep working on trying to bring you a few videos every week, and at least a video every week if we ever fall short of that. Also, once again, check out our website, parentsguidetotheworld.com.